Give us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true.
Welcome to Navtastic, podcast about 8 seasons in a row. I'm Mr. Fernandes, and
I'm Chris Jayawardena. Hello.
We're going to review It's a Dog's Life from season 4 of Laverne and Shirley, directed by Joel Zwick and written by Judy Pioli. Maybe you get some facts about both of them, don't you, Chris?
I do. So Judy Pioli, this is her 5th of 14 episodes, so she's got 9 more to go. She's here again with an animal episode after already having done the horse show. In addition to playing Terry Buttafuoco a while back, Judy also was a member of the She-Devils on a Happy Days episode. Gasp! That was a nice little discovery. You actually can find a clip of that on YouTube as of this recording, so who knows? hopefully it'll still be around, all that time later. Anyway,
knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Anyway, Joel Zwick. Yeah, so now we're up to his 4th episode with 29 left to go. So after working on Laverne and Shirley, he would go on to do 18 episodes of Bosom Buddies, including its pilot episode. I mentioned a few episodes ago that it seemed like pilots seemed to be kind of one of the things he became known for. I don't know if they thought it was a good luck charm with the show or something that would be successful if he directed the pilot. And it might have just been he was the kind of TV director that set good standards. So even if he didn't direct everything, he directed enough episodes to kind of set like a certain pattern and would make the other directors, kind of have to rise up to their level. Because trust me, from experience, you get enough directors in a room together, one's going to stand out as good and everyone's going to be like, I got to be like that guy or that director, excuse me.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's our rock facts for today.
Rockin'. Win. And here's what the episode's about. A trip to the city pound to rescue Squiggy's Uncle Elliot's favorite watchdog Meatball from doing a hard time turns into an ordeal when Shirley becomes distraught by the condition of the shelter and its animals. She becomes attached to a German Shepherd that's been declared vicious and scheduled to be put down after biting someone. Shirley thus changes herself to Fritzi's collar and declares that he will not be gassed, while Laverne changes herself to a handsome cop who takes her to the pizza bowl and garners the situation press attention. With the reporters and authorities hovering over them, the girls stay just sit in to protect all the shelter's at-risk animals. But will they save their lives? Meanwhile, Frank gets an award from a local restaurant association due to his charitable behavior from Carmine, and the boys go to creative lengths to spring Meatball from the pound. What do you think of this one, Chris?
Well, I had one concern. If Jeffrey is a toy for dogs now, that's going to really, really weaken his collector's value.
Poor thing. His structure is filled with sawdust and love. Let him be.
Anyway, this was a cute animal episode, but it's interesting. I will say what I will say is interesting about the episode is two things that popped up to mind. The first is God, I don't know if I should use the nickname I have for in my notes, but the cop that shows up in this episode toward the middle and the end of it, he's no Norman Hughes, that's for sure. No, he's not Norman.
Yeah.
We'll get to him, but yeah, that was an interesting thing that kind of God, it's like you kind of like him. He has great chemistry with Laverne, and then the tag scene happens.
Yeah.
And then there's also the fact that how did Carmine get elected to anything? Like what platform?
No.
What platform does this guy run on? Like
Charm.
Yeah, it's like
banged enough widows to get in.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I got it. He later mentions that he promised to, or he would, in exchange for people getting the dog, he would give them dance lessons.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was what it was. I'll give you 5 free dance lessons if you vote for me. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. That's probably it. That's why he is not rich off of that dance studio at all.
Yeah. But the delight, I just was going to say, the delight of this episode is seeing Cindy absolutely loving on the dogs.
Oh, yeah. Cindy is a huge animal rights activist in real life. She loves animals. And this probably was written in response to that, or possibly written in response to that. It's a really adorable little episode. It's very cute. It's very much a kid episode. You'd show this to a little kid, and a little kid will be able to grasp it and enjoy it, and get a lot out of it. That doesn't mean that it's too broad for your average adult. It means that there's something sweet and innocent about it, if you know what I mean. Even the boys are less pervy here than normal. Even while they're tattooing a dog's stomach, mind you. Which Laverne approves of. She is totally here for them tattooing that dog.
Yep. Yeah,
It's like fun music as well.
she even points out, yeah, when he rolls over, he makes it dance. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's so happy about it. I love it when she makes a third of the boys sometimes, because she absolutely becomes influenced by the two of them, and becomes less rejecting of their behavior.
I mean, she's even like kind of trying to help explain the situation. I mean, she's the one that even explains that Uncle Elliot's in England.
Yeah, exactly. Gang her to press her face into wax. Put her face in wax, man. Which is only the Squigman line, man. Only the Squigman line.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna regret the day you laid eyes on Andrew Squigman.
I love it when David says his character's name and then punches his chest. That's such a squiggy gesture. I love it. Every single time he does it, it becomes a master gesture for him.
It's really good. I can't imagine the sound department, whoever's doing production sound, and if they've got lavs on him, probably doesn't appreciate it as much.
Yeah, true. Punch himself right in the microphone.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
I kind of wonder if this episode was rewritten from a Norman episode. I kind of wonder if Norman was supposed to be the cop. With a couple of line adjustments, it could be it could be him and not a new guy that Laverne is meeting here. So,
that's possible.
Sitting there watching, I was like, gee, it would work so much better with Norman. So much better with Norman, yet he's not anywhere to be seen. Sadly.
Yeah, sadly. Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, I liked the character at first, his banter, and I mean, the actor's actual banter with Penny Marshall is fantastic. It's like, I remember thinking, like, it's like, okay, you got to room you two, at first. And then, and as I said, then things happen. But yeah, the cop was played by a guy named Wayne Powers. I thought he was, I think at first, like, my first glimpse of him, for some reason, like, what is that, Robert Picardo? But no, it's Wayne Powers. He actually will return as his character again in another episode or two. So he also shows up as two other characters in the final season. So he was another guy they kind of brought back in, probably just because, like, hanging around the group. I bring this up partly because I do have more trivia about this guy for later, which I will come back to on his next episode.
Yeah, his name's Officer Bagatelli, and he's very Italian, so I'm sure Frank must be happy.
Oh, I'm sure.
At some level. Yeah, another cop that Laverne's into. He just does not have the pizzazz of a Norman. He's not bad. The chemistry's nice. Mm-hmm. But there's a certain, like, softness and sweetness and extra layers to Norman that makes him more of a match for Laverne. That's just my little thought. Yeah.
Norman also, I think, puts effort, which is, it's kind of annoying at times, but it's also very endearing. Like, there's something earnest about him trying to court Laverne, and this cop here is, it's kind of good that he's a little more stern, because, it means that Laverne's got to almost kind of chase him a little more. Yeah. But at the same time, as later, both at the end of this episode and then his next appearance, it also makes him a bit of a stubborn ass.
Yeah. Yep. Which is the negative trait and a positive trait, depending on where you take that little thought. To be honest, because sometimes stubbornness is a virtue, and him it could be a virtue or a negative. But yeah. I miss Norman.
If I may, there's a difference between being stubborn, and there's a difference between stubborn and steadfast.
Yes, a good point. A very good point.
So I was gonna make a joke, but I'll say that for later, and also probably it's not gonna be topical by the time this episode airs. So Officer Newman.
Yes.
So first of all, I love when he comes in, Officer Newman, Squig, it's him, Officer Newman. No, great, love that exchange. Did you recognize who played Officer Newman, the warden of the dog pound?
He looks familiar, but I do not know who played him.
Okay, he's played by Jack Somack. He was a regular on Barney Miller and the Stalker Channing Show, did a lot of TV roles, but he is most known for being the spicy meatball guy from the Alka-Seltzer commercials.
No way!
So,
yes!
because I had seen that ad once as a child, and then of course heard it referenced often. My parents used to say that to the point that, like, my mom, whenever she, looks at the spicy food my dad is eating, my dad and I are eating, because my dad used to eat chorizo regularly, by the way, like once a week. This really like napalm, he used to call it. But yeah, spicy meatball would come around. So yeah, he was interesting about him is he was mostly in amateur productions for most of his acting career and broke into the movie parts in the late 60s and early 70s in his older years. And he passed away in 1983. So this is the only appearance, I believe, on the show. So Jack Somack, we salute you. It's good to see you on the show.
Big old salute to you, dude. You did a lot of good. You did a lot of cool things. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so speaking of fascists, killer German Shepherd named Fritzi.
Laverne makes a direct Nazi joke.
Exactly.
He's a Nazi, Cheryl. The dog's a Nazi, Cheryl. Oh, gosh. The dog's a Nazi. And I love that, of course, he's a pussycat, just like Shirley thinks he is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just a sweet little dog. I have a great behind-the-scenes tidbit about Fritzi.
Oh.
Yes. According to Penny Marshall, when they were filming this episode, the only way to get the dog to bark was for his trainer to put on a yellow rain slicker, jump out in front of the camera, scrunch his hand, make a face, and go, Fritzi, Fritzi, Fritzi.
That is amazing. So the dog was so sweet, it had to be like severely provoked.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That is so cute.
As Penny says, it would make me growl.
Oh my God. That's awesome. Yeah.
I love that line.
And I love when they scuffle with the guys and they're gonna kill this dog over my dead body.
Yeah.
And I love my note here is that even Jeffrey helps because he gets used to bop them.
Laverne is directly using Jeffrey as a weapon. She is like trying to cram his face right into this officer's face, right into his nose, right into his eyes, and gouge him out. And I'm like, geez. I wonder if Lenny would approve of that or disapprove of that. I don't know.
I lived in Portland through 2020. I'm thinking I'm 70% okay with it. I know somebody who has literally like had their ankle almost broken by getting tackled by the cops. So yeah.
No, I'm saying, would Lenny approve of that?
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Would
Lenny approve of that? Oh man. Okay, I can see. Okay, so we keep calling Lenny. He's a wife guy without a wife. He's always rooting for Laverne in a situation, especially a situation like this where it's because he's like, yeah, I'm a rebel. I gotta stick it to the man. But because Jeffrey, on the other hand, God.
Yeah,
I don't. This is good. This is deep thinking territory because I'm like going to the layers. Okay, listeners, please comment, get in touch with us on our Twitter, on the Facebook. Let us know. Do you think Lenny would approve of Jeffrey being used as an anti-fascism device?
Oh my goodness! On some level, I think he would. On the other level, he wouldn't want him damaged. There is a whole plot line coming up about how he does not approve of people hurting Jeffrey at all.
There's a whole plot about it?
The whole beginning plot about it to an episode.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There's cuteness afoot, season 5.
Okay.
Season 5.
Anyway. So does that get us into the pizza bowl scene?
Yeah. I like Carmine and Frank's father-son relationship here. But on the other hand, everybody's so done with Frank's big moment. He's trying to enjoy this. And Edna's over there trying to take a picture going, all I'm getting is Frank's head and your zipper.
Yeah. Oh, God, I love that bit.
I love that line.
Yeah. Oh God, there's something very Carmine about him also like having to be up top, like sitting on a chair like that, or standing on a chair, I should say. Yeah.
He likes to be tall.
Yeah. Because I mean, he's a very Carmine. Eddie Mecca is a very stocky dude. I don't mean that negatively, by the way. I think stocky dudes it is a more than valid. Actually, what am I saying? I'm stocky.
Yeah.
It's a very valid body type. But yeah, no, I do love the element of like it's one of those moments where I'm surprised they didn't play with like the community more in the series, like up to this point, where you see aspects of the neighborhood, quote unquote, like being very clearly established in seasons 1 and 2. And we obviously in our note taking, we pretty much have come to the realization that there's definitely people who are coming to the Pizza Bowl for the drama. They're coming there to see the DeFazios having a fight, or Carmine and Shirley having a fight, or the boys up to some weird scheme. There's so much weird stuff that goes on. And seeing these extras, these background players that we've never seen before, felt like, oh, wow, yeah, that's right. This is like a neighborhood where there's other people, other businesses.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I kind of want more of that.
Same.
And a journalist who also plays the piano, I think.
Yep. Plays the piano and does multiple other things. I think didn't they recycle this actor a couple times?
They do.
I thought
So I mentioned, because I caught this and screamed this out when we were watching the episodes. The journalist here, that's Murph of the Mirth Tones. That's Murphy Dunn. Character actor, bit player for cameos, including Oh God and High Anxiety, but of course, most of us know him as Murph of the Mirth Tones in the Blues Brothers. This is the first of 3 parts he plays in Laverne and Shirley. He also later went on to be a guest in an episode of Bosom Buddies and the League of Their Own TV series. Now, here is the one that blew my mind when I was looking up and researching this guy. He is a dub voice in the Cowboy Bebop movie and is in like 3 or 4 episodes, a dub character for Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. What?
Oh, I would have never guessed.
Neither would I.
I absolutely would never guess that at all.
Yeah. So the journalist character, that was kind of, and like that's what I mean, is like those aspects of the neighborhood of the city just was like, oh, this is kind of cool, because it feels like we've had like these very isolated stories for quite a bit of this season since they came back from the festival.
Yeah, it's kind of a more insular episode. You get long scenes taking place in one location. That's very much what happens here. You get most of the episode taking place at the Pounds, in that one specific room of the Pounds. And one scene in the Pizza Bowl, and this is the only scene in the Pizza Bowl at all. So, it's worth noting. I think so. I love the line, you gave a guy the gun a noogie, she's DeFazio, she's got guts.
Yep.
Of course Laverne gave a guy with the gun a noogie. Of course she would. It's Laverne.
It's Laverne, yeah.
She doesn't care. She punched a robber to get his gun out of his hand. Of course she'd do that.
Absolutely.
Got no fear.
Yeah, it's like, think of who you're talking to. Who you're talking about, I should say. The other thing also was, what was your take on the fact that Frank basically abandons Laverne to her fate? It's like I don't know her.
I know her. She's not my daughter. Give me my award. I want to be famous. Famous! I want to be famous for 5 seconds. Jesus, Frank. I feel sorry for him in the fact that everybody has decided to just say, let him do his own thing. We have a more exciting thing happening over here. But on the other hand, he is kind of denying Laverne like she's Judas, and it's like Judas versus Jesus over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Right.
I screwed up this Bible story, but one of these days I'll remember what I was trying to say. Sorry to everybody at my CCD class, but I've lapsed anyway.
Oh, man.
I need to remember who exactly. I think it was Peter that denied Jesus, denied knowing him. So
yeah,
that's the whole situation right there. He decided to go all disciple on her.
That's right. Yeah, denial of Peter. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. He says to go all Peter on her, and he gets immediate payback for it because everybody just leaves him there to suffer while they cover her story and get Shirley the attention she needs.
Wait, so we went from a biblical allegory to karma?
Karma, chameleon.
Claire Amadea, that one was for you. Anyway, sorry, back on track.
Anyway.
So yes, yeah. Frank gets ditched because the woman handcuffing herself to a dog is more interesting than a guy getting an award and ditching his daughter. And now Shirley is handcuffed to a dog because she loves them. And playing to her a speechless, inanimate audience once again, doing her little stand-up routine just like she did in the cemetery. Yep.
Which I think is a great character quirk that doesn't get revisited a lot with her.
Oh.
She's out there basically doing a stand-up routine with nobody able to reply to her or do anything but bark, and she's just having the time of her life. I think that's hilarious. Beautiful work by Cindy.
And it's very Shirley, because I mean, this is someone who wants to control the narrative. She has to, you know, so she can make up whatever response that she wants. The Basset Hound. Oh my God, the Basset Hound was so precious.
There's so many good lines here as the girls settle in for the night. Like, I hate tear gas, Shirley. It makes me cry. And Shirley does
the tear gas on a cop car. It's got to be it must be a Portland cop.
Oh God, oh wow. Dude, I wonder how topical this is going to be, like, in 6 months, 7 months if this comes out.
Between episodes, I'll tell you what the latest from our local news is.
Oh Lord. I hate current events at this point. Also the line, no, he eats pussycats, Cheryl.
Yeah, and it's one of those. I'm sure there's some clever audio editors out there that have taken that. Anyway,
yeah, nobody's that horny yet. yeah. But Laverne finally has a breakthrough with Fritzi, and they start petting Fritzi, and they realize he has been beaten.
Yeah,
someone has beaten this poor dog.
Mm-hmm.
Fritzi's an abuse victim, the poor baby. And just like, oh, right in the heart. Of course he growls at people.
Quick note. May I speak honestly and frankly on the subject of out to anyone who may be listening that abuses animals in any way? May I speak frankly? Go fuck yourselves.
Get fucked. There you go.
Yeah,
Get
there you
go.
There we go. Cool. Anyway, sorry. On with the episode.
Get fucked and fucked. Okay. So the girls bed down for the night. Shirley basically invents no-kill shelters when she's talking to this reporter. In a way, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Especially the way the reporter is like, you know, the reporter is like, oh, wow, that's an interesting idea. Okay.
Yeah, and this is a good idea. It's a very valid idea.
Indeed.
And then Laverne tries to get some action by describing her measurements, which is hilarious. God.
That was very cute.
34, 26, 36.
And Shirley keeps correcting. It's like, okay, fine.
What does it look like there, huh? Just rips off her cardigan. You can see her boobs. And it's the most Laverne thing I can think of. Yeah, I just told you recently, that's the most Lenny thing I can think of. This is the most Laverne thing I can think of. Come on! Tell me how my rock looks! Tell me now! Now! It's the most her thing. That kind of right note of aggressive sexuality that she can sometimes pull off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, we have another moment of that, I think, in another episode or two.
Yeah. Yep. I was going to mention, I'm not sure if that's really Penny playing the harmonica there. But
good question. This when it moves. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, that's actually one thing I wanted to point out. I love the night lighting when the lights are out in the scene. And I commented on this before when we were mentioning Joel Zwick as a director. You know, he seemed to push for doing more with the lights. And I love that they do that here. It actually kind of made me think it look like a Peckinpah flick, you know, in some respects, you know, like Pat Garrett or Alfredo Garcia. And and even the harmonica on top of that, I was like, okay, maybe somebody went and saw Convoy, like, which had just come out by this point. I don't know if that's really her on the harmonica, but it is a nice touch. I thought it was cute. And I did find it interesting that all the songs are very childish songs. It's very like she can play it well, but she hasn't learned any new songs since like the 5th grade. Yeah. We have an upcoming episode where Laverne basically cannot get the lyrics right. It's kind of in a way reminded me of. Just a little bit. Just a tiny little bit. My favorite little detail from this whole scene is Shirley sitting on the floor holding onto Fritzi's paw. I know.
I love dogs that do that. They just lie there and they let you hold on their paw. Well, they're just Songwood is snoring away. I love that. I love when dogs
Yeah,
do that.
I haven't had a dog do that to me in a long time. God, like over 15 years.
Yeah,
It's a very
my
sweet
aunt
dog,
too.
though.
My aunt's dog is still my favorite dog of all time. My favorite puppy ever, and she passed away. Well, my aunt passed away too. So, best dog ever, sweetest dog ever, favorite dog.
Oh, so you love dogs, but do you
Yeah.
love dogs enough to eat dog food and drink from the bowl?
No, but I love that Laverne is sitting there eating dog. She chewed the boys out for eating goat chow, and she's sitting there eating dog food.
No place to get on Lenny's case ever again.
Yeah. Between that and then eating scooter pies of tuna fish in a couple episodes. Come on, girl. Come on. You get the exact same palate as he has.
Yep.
It's hilarious.
Yep. It's good. It's good. I love that. It's a very cliche kind of joke at this point, but it's still very, very cute. It's aggressively cute.
It does. So we have a really, really cute little scene where Shirley tries to give all the animals a pep talk.
Yes.
She's a little furry optimist. Wag your tails.
Yep.
And
I love she wants Myron wagging tail, and it's like come on Myron, and it's like it's a basset Shirl. They're pretty chill dogs.
Yeah, I know, so cute. And 3 of the dogs are named Curly, Larry, and Mo. How cute is that? Come on.
It's so adorable. That's my very next note after that.
Yes.
I have a scream and a little heart emoji next to it.
So do I! I'm screaming. Oh my god.
They're precious. But yeah, the howling, the barking, wagging tails. And then I love Shirley's pep talk. It's like you'll be adopted by some sweet doctor, who's does all these things, and he's so kind and handsome. And can you get his number?
Can you get his phone number for me? Which is such a Shirley thing. My main note for this entire section of the scene is oh Shirley, honey, over and over again, because this is such a her scene. It's such a her thing to do. She's giving this big motivational speech because she wants people to be happy. In this case, a bunch of dogs. She wants them to live and have a good time and reach their full potential. Even though the dogs, they can't do anything but bark back at her. It's so her. It's so her. And Laverne just being dragged along with it. Stuck at the other end of the handcuffs. And then in come the boys.
Which is probably one of my favorite parts of this episode.
Yes.
We're here to break Meatball out. What are you doing here? I'm making a statement. Well, shut up.
Why you chained up like women with rabies?
And I love the 70-pound cats chasing economy-sized mice. We thought of everything.
Yep. It's so cute, and it's so the boys, and it's so innocent.
Yeah.
And they apparently do successfully break Meatball out.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently managed to rescue him. Something happens. Len, they ain't gonna electrocute Meatball. The governor called?
God.
And then she puts her hand in his shoulder for no reason.
Oh, yeah. No reason. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Look, if I had a chance to put my hand in the shoulder of a 30-year-old Michael McKean, I would do it in a heartbeat. Anyway.
Oh, wow.
I cannot
Mr.
blame
Mr.
Penny
McKean,
Marshall
Mr. McKean, if you ever come across these episodes in any way, you've made it to this point.
Please don't sue me.
Please don't steal my girlfriend away. Please don't. She's one of the most amazing things that's ever happened in my life, and I would like not to lose her. Thank you.
Oh. Thank you.
Anyway, but speaking of sweet dreams, the girls sleeping, the physical comedy, and the Fabian bit.
Yes. Oh, that bit's so good.
Oh man.
Oh, it's so cute. And then Shirley realizes, oh, that's why his breath smelled like liver. I think she said it smelled like liver and kidneys.
Yeah, liver or kidneys. Yeah, it was one of those two.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And she's like, I love it when she has dreams about making out with Fabian. It's always Fabian. She's always mentioning Fabian.
I mean, it is, at least there's consistency. And, and I can appreciate a consistent fantasy person for those types of dreams and things like that. I wish I was more consistent. Mine are
Hey,
not as much as I wish they could be. Just because
hey, variety is variety.
variety is variety.
Variety is healthy.
Yeah. Anyway,
That we come to the moral part of our episode
I know
where we
the
hear
dogs,
nothing.
their last
Sorry.
meal. Ugh.
Yeah, I know. Nothing's gonna change because nobody cares.
Right.
It's just such a Marshall verse. Screw you. We care. We're gonna change this. We're gonna make it better.
Yep. It's a very kid
that
show
optimism.
line in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, as always, that's the false dawn, and here comes Deus Ex Frank Machina again.
Yep. I just came to say you would change yourself to today.
But it's sweet. Him doing that sweet. Edna doing that sweet. Carmine doing what he does is very good of him. Let's be nice to Carmine for 5 seconds and say that's a good thing he did this.
He did a thing well. Get him, Fritzy. I'm kidding.
But
Yeah,
he's
no,
a good
no.
boy.
Carmine was fine this time. Carmine was fine this time, and I hate that you reminded me of that because I was his presence of him in the first part of the episode, him being elected probably through bribery of some sort to any sort of position was going to make me take a half point off this episode. But no, fine. He saved the puppies. Damn it! I'm going to have to put that half point back.
And then he just siphons all the money out of their club right into his personal bank account.
Oh, I'm sure.
He
I'm
just
sure.
nails all those widows with all that money. Anyway, he did a good thing. Carmine was nice in this episode. He was sweet. And Shirley thanks him by making out with him for such a long time the audience whistles.
Yep.
Which is always
And
a sign that they're into it.
I was going to say, though, that she does kind of kick him to the curb as soon as the journalist shows up, though.
Yep. The second there is a chance that she could trade him in for something else, We're not playing anything serious.
Yeah. I mean, after the day with the
And then, of
Razorhead
course-
episode, can't blame her too much.
Nope. And then there is the wonderful line where Laverne looks at the article and realizes there's nothing in there about her measurements. Well, you should thank God for that. You look fine to me, Cheryl. Gee.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. I love the hugging. I love all the dogs and all the cats. I guess the cats, too. I guess everybody gets adopted. The girls reaffirm their friendship. There's hugging. There's joy. There's victory. And then it comes Officer Bagatelli to ask Laverne out. And can you imagine being Shirley dragged along a date with Laverne? And you have a date of your own. You are just stuck there eating bacon. Or I guess not bacon in this case. I guess like toast. Listening to her flirt with this dude. Just imagine what that's like. Just like.
And then, of course, he has this whole thing. It's like he's off duty, so he can't unlock the cuffs, which is horse hockey. My God, that is horse hockey. Those are horses bipedal on the ice with the sticks. There's a goalie. There's a fist fight that breaks out. That actually be terribly hilarious to watch. Why did that not happen in BoJack Horseman? But I don't watch that show. I don't know if that happens or not. Anyway, but he does that. He skimps on Payne and wants them to pay for half the meal now. And it's like, God. Yep. My final note is, a cab. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There you go. This guy does not last long with Laverne. We see him, I think, twice, and that's the end of him. He is quickly replaced by, well, you'll see. We'll get there. We'll get there. He's not a very long-term one either, but we'll get there. We're past the tags in here, but I wanted to go back and make note of a couple of things in the first scene, like how the boys think that Meatball can absolutely understand human logic. They can give him a certain time and he'll show up.
I adore that. It is so sweetly
same.
innocent. It's like a 7-year-old or a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
It is so precious, and yet it's also like it's exasperating. But God, it's cute.
Yeah. Of course they would think that. But of course they would think that. It's so very them.
And, for all we know, maybe Meatball has got a double life, and, maybe he's got a secret spy, poodle girlfriend that he had to go check on that, who's trying to get him the secret microfilm. And so he wasn't able to make the meeting, and that's when he got caught by the fuzz on the way.
Screw the popo. That's the lesson here. That's the lesson here. I loved that little moment of improvisation. It has to be improvisation. When Squiggy goes down on his knees to embrace Meatball, and the dog wriggles out of David's arms and kind of refuses to be embraced by him. And he goes, I turned my back on me too. And then he gets up and he goes to Lenny. He's so distant, Lenny.
I love that. I love it so much. Yeah, moment. That's great.
Yes. It's such a good improvisation by David, if it was indeed an improvisation. It feels like an improvisation. I love the line, Meatball's doing hard time.
Oh, I also love the line, a disguise for a dog? That's right, we brought him a cat suit.
Yes, it's so good. And those the little ears they put on him.
Mm-hmm.
It's so adorable. It's so cute.
And and Squiggy's line, I get more regrettable every day.
Laverne's line, if the doggy was bad, couldn't you just ground him for a week? That's a good one.
Oh yeah, there's wonderful bits of dialogue. It's very classic Pioli dialogue exchanges in this episode.
Yes, all of it's perfect. I think we're at ranking time.
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
Oh gosh, this is roughly about a 7-ish, about an 8-ish for me. It's pretty good. The plot strings together very well. It's funny. Everything that happens at the shelter is adorable or touching or instructive to little kids that you don't abuse animals and please go pick up a shelter pet. Everything the boys do is gold here. This is gold. It's adorable. I could have used more of their antics with Meatball in this episode.
Agreed.
It's been so cute. So cute. The girls' friendship and their sisterhood being the most important thing is also a wonderful plot point. The stuff with Frank almost doesn't need to exist except when he comes in at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of extraneous. The cute cop date is kind of extraneous. Everything else works. Everything else, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good episode because everything else works very well.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 7.5. The half point is off because of, I think, the same problems you were mentioning. I think the cop being a jerk at the tail end of the episode. And I get it. I don't think every time these gals get a date it should go perfectly, but this guy did such a bait and switch. It's like, it feels like an overt course correction to make it not a complete hunky-dory ending. And it almost feels, and it's sort of like, it's like the bitter pill. It's like having a bitter after dinner mint after a great dessert. And you're like, oh man. Yeah. It's like having a great chocolate cake and then your parents say, all right, now go brush your teeth. And it's like, you don't even have any time to enjoy it, Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where it's at. And agreed. I feel like the pizza bowl scene is fine, but it's kind of extraneous. And because of the fact that it doesn't, I guess what it is that the joke of Frank's ego doesn't work for me. It feels very much like someone just threw that on the board in the writer's room and it just kind of stuck and they were able to write something vaguely good with it. And there's good jokes in there. It's just that it just doesn't, it feels like it's a too long setup to the whole gag of Laverne coming in handcuffed to a cop. Like that's all it feels like. So anyway, so yeah. So 7.5. I mean, but the dog stuff is great. Meatball's great. The boys are fantastic. Laverne being with the girls. Laverne being with the boys. And the implication that means is that both the girls came with the boys to the pound to begin with. Was a great touch. Because
which means either they went to them for help, or they were with them when Meatball did not show up.
Right. Exactly. So there's aspects like that I really enjoy. So it's a mostly great episode is what I would say. But yeah, no, it's cute, it's sweet, the animals are wonderful, and it's the good message, but anyway, it's one of those don't have to see it, but it's a good one. It's worth, if you're gonna put on a Laverne and Shirley marathon, you want to put some animal episodes on a sitcom night, this is a good choice. It's a good choice. You put it on there.
Yeah.
You put it right next to Horse Show. You put it right next to, I don't know, like an episode of Lassie. You put it on Mystery Science Theater doing the Painted Hills. Bada bing.
There you go. There you go. A perfect marathon.
Wow, actually, I'd never thought of doing an animal. Usually, I think of Animals Attack or Creature Feature marathons. Animal movies would actually be quite the panacea for a bad day. Like just really, like really sweet animal episodes for like, and then somehow put in the bird episode of Rocko's Modern Life.
There you go. Just don't watch Day of the Animal or Grizzly after that.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Hey, but remember, kids, when confronted with a grizzly that's running amok like Jaws inside of a small town, use a rocket launcher. Works great.
Jesus Christ. I still think that's how the movie ends. That's exactly how the movie ends. When this by the way, this movie has riff tracks attached to it. When everybody starts laughing incredulously when that happens, that's exactly what I did in real life watching that the first time. It's just blow up the bear with a rocket launcher. It's a great idea. It surely won't damage the environment or accidentally kill you. I mean,
it was good enough to be the inspiration for Resident Evil blowing up the monster at the end with a rocket launcher. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Really?
No, I'm completely serious. Mikami mentioned that in interviews in game magazines.
Man.
Sorry, I thought I was gonna go a whole episode without referencing Resident Evil or monster movies. I'm so sorry.
It never happens. Never gonna happen. That's just our brand. That's just our brand.
Anyway.
Okay.
I think that covers it for today, though. Yeah?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, cool. All right.
It does indeed.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. And if you would like to know more, please join us at Night After Night PC on Twitter or Night After Night Pod on Facebook, Tumblr, Patreon, YouTube, WordPress, even. And it'd be great to hear from you. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow our podcast. Check back episodes. I don't know, request things, top 10 lists. I don't know. Make us do more work, whatever, and pay us for it. I don't know. But
but you gotta pay us for it.
But anyway, so coming up next, oh God, it's getting kind of chilly in here. Lisa, why is this kind of wintry? What's that? Why am I hearing bells? What are they jingling?
Ho ho ho! It's the show's last Christmas episode. The girls try to raise enough money and raise enough attention to get Frank's dinner for the homeless back on track. It's called "O Come All Ye Bums."
Okay, well, hopefully you'll get your buns back to us, and we'll have a seat and talk about the episode next time.
Bye, y'all. Have a good one.
And also hug a puppy.
Yes, hug a puppy. Hug a puppy. An adorable, soft, sweet, cuddly puppy.